Tomel sat in the dark corner of his cold prison cell. His arms were chained above his head. His legs were weak from lack of food and rest. The Jarns, tall and gray-skinned aliens, had held him for many weeks. They didn't treat him badly, but they didn't care much either. To them, Tomel was just a low-level human scout who got unlucky. Every day, the guards walked by his cell. They pointed at him and laughed. "Look at him," one said. "He hasn't spoken in days. He's probably scared," the other replied. Humans break easily, but Tomel stayed silent. He watched, he listened, and he waited. The prison ship, Drexler 9, floated above a dead moon near the edge of Zarn space. It was big and full of cells like Tomel's. Most prisoners were from weak species traders, spies, or war orphans. Tomel had not spoken to any of them. He had kept to himself, eating only when given food, never reacting when guards spoke. He wanted them to think he was broken. What the Jarns didn't know was that Tomel used to be more than a scout. He was once a captain in the human defense fleet. He had commanded a warship called Ashen Sky. That ship was feared by many and respected by even more. But Ashen Sky had gone missing during a major battle. Most believed it was destroyed. The Jarns never made the connection between that famous captain and the quiet prisoner in cell 43B. One day, something changed. The ship's lights flickered for a second. The guards didn't care. They kept walking. But Tomel noticed the pattern. It blinked in a rhythm, a code, a signal. His heart beat faster. He looked up toward the ceiling of his cell. He knew what that signal meant. It was an old message, one used only between human warships and their captains. The message was simple. "I am near. I am searching." Ashen Sky was alive. In the command room of Drexler 9, the Zarn leader, Karnux, stood before a large screen. He had 4 arms and a long neck. His eyes blinked slowly as data moved across the screen. Another old wreck, one of his officers said, "It's drifting near the moon. No power, no threat." Karnux stared at the image. The ship was dark, covered in dust and small meteors. Its shape was strange, long, and sharp, with a black hull that absorbed light. "Send a patrol to scan it," Karnux ordered. "Yes, Commander." Back in his cell, Tomel heard the low rumble of engines. He closed his eyes. His thoughts raced. If Ashen Sky was close, there was hope. But he had to be ready. He had to survive. That evening, Karnux walked past Tomel's cell. He stopped and looked at the human. "You've been quiet," Karnux said. "Tomorrow, I take you with me. We have a meeting with the Galactic Union. A human prisoner might be useful." Tomel did not answer. He simply looked back, calm and quiet. Karnux grinned and walked away. Far in space, beyond the moon's edge, something old began to wake up. Inside the heart of the warship Ashen Sky, lights flickered on. The AI core, once silent, powered up. Systems came online, one by one. Cameras scanned space. Weapons checked their status. A voice, calm and steady, echoed through the empty halls of the ship. "Searching. Confirming. Identity match. Tomel. Ashen Sky had found its captain." The ship's AI remembered everything. The last battle, the emergency jump, the damage, and the silent years waiting in the dust. But the signal had come at last. The captain was alive, and he was not safe. Ashen Sky began to prepare. Shields warmed up. Weapon banks charged slowly. Engines remained quiet. The ship stayed hidden for now. It needed to be careful, but it had only one goal: rescue Tomel. The next morning, 2 guards unlocked Tomel's cell. They pulled him out and chained his hands. He walked with them through long metal halls, past other prisoners. Some looked at him with pity. Others looked away. They reached the hangar bay. Karnux stood near a small transport ship. "You will stay quiet during the meeting," Karnux said. "If you behave, you may live longer." Tomel still said nothing. He looked up at the stars beyond the force field. Somewhere out there, his ship waited. Suddenly, the hangar lights turned red. "Unidentified signal detected," a voice said. From the intercom, Karnux frowned. "Show me the source." A small screen on the wall lit up. The image was unclear, but it showed a large shape moving through the dust cloud. It was heading straight for Drexler 9. Is it Zarin? Karnix asked. No, it's old, but the design is human. Tomel smiled. Karnix turned to him. You know this ship? Tomel raised his head. You should be afraid. Before Karnix could reply, every screen in the hangar turned black. Then, a voice came through. A calm, powerful voice. Tomel, I found you. Karnix froze. The guards looked at each other. Tomel's eyes lit up. Ashen Sky was here, and it was ready to fight. The warship floated in silence. To the Zarin scanners, it looked like space junk. The outer hull was covered in dust and broken metal plates. No lights flashed, no engines burned. But something felt wrong. It didn't move like junk, it moved with purpose. Inside the Drexler 9 control center, Commander Karnix stared at the blurry image on the screen. Zoom in, he ordered. His crew followed the command. The image sharpened. It showed a dark ship with sharp lines and a long body. Faded letters on the hull spelled something in old human language. One Zarin officer whispered, "It's human." Another said, "That class of ship was lost years ago. It can't still fly." Karnix narrowed his eyes. "Send a message. Ask for identification." The crew sent the message. No reply came. Then they sent a warning. Still no answer. One officer said, "No heat, no sound, no energy spike." Karnix took a step back. "Then why does it feel like it's washing us down in the hangar bay?" Tomel stood still, hands still. Chain, but his eyes were alive. He could feel it. Ashen Sky had arrived. It had found him. The two guards beside him pointed their weapons at his back. They didn't know what to do. Tomel spoke softly for the first time. "You should let me go now." One of the guards laughed. "Is that your broken ship out there?" Tomel answered. "It's not broken. It's waiting." The second guard stepped forward. "You're lying. That ship isn't even powered. Our scans show nothing." Tomel looked at the stars beyond the force field. His voice was calm. "If that ship starts to glow, you should run far." In the dust cloud, Ashen Sky's systems continued waking up. Inside the main core, the AI voice spoke to itself. "Captain located. Danger confirmed. Enemy ship identified. Status armed." Ashen Sky began to spread out its power slowly. One reactor at a time. One shield at a time. Quiet, controlled, invisible to basic scans. The weapons were still cold. But the ship's mind was not. Target locked. Firing path prepared. Waiting for confirmation. The ship had not fired yet. It waited for one word. A word from the captain. But Tomel could not speak freely. So Ashen Sky did something unexpected. It spoke first. Every speaker aboard Drexler 9 came to life. The same voice that had called Tomel's name now echoed through the entire ship. "This is Ashen Sky. Human warship. Mark 7X. Identify prisoner Tomel. Release him, or face destruction." Zarin crew members froze at their stations. One officer said, "It's talking." Karnix growled, "It's a bluff. That ship is dead. Bring weapons online." Another voice shouted from the side, "Commander, our turrets are not responding. Systems are glitching." Karnix slammed his fist on the console. "I said bring them online." Suddenly, screens began to turn black. One by one. Then a new image appeared. A red line moved across a wireframe of Drexler 9. It showed weapons, shields, engines, living crew. In weak spots, Ashen Sky had scanned everything. Karnix shouted, "Shut it off now." But nothing worked. Tomel looked around the hangar. The guards were no longer laughing. He said, "You still think that ship is junk?" One guard raised his weapon. Silence. Tomel didn't flinch. "Shoot me if you want, but nothing will stop it now." Back in the void, Ashen Sky finished charging its first cannon. A blue light started to glow on the side of its body. Slowly, quietly, the AI made another announcement. "Final warning, release Tomel." No response came. Ashen Sky changed its plan. It locked onto the Drexler 9's outer sensor tower and fired one shot. The beam cut through space. Fast as lightning, the tower exploded in a flash. No lives were lost, but the message was clear. Ashen Sky was not bluffing. Panic spread through Drive X or -9. Sirens wailed. Lights blinked red. Soldiers rushed through corridors. Karnix ordered all ships to prepare for launch. Get the prisoner into the shuttle. Now, we'll use him as bait. Down. In the hangar, guards pulled Tomel toward the shuttle. One of them shouted into a wrist communicator, asking for clearance to launch. The hangar doors began to open. Ashen Sky saw it. The AI spoke again. Hostile action detected. Targeting engines. Another shot fired. This time, it hit the rear engine. Room of Drexler 9. Flames spread. The ship tilted slightly as backup power came on. Tomel used the moment. He kicked one guard hard in the leg. The second guard turned to aim, but Tomel spun and ducked. The shot missed. He rammed his shoulder into the second guard's chest. The weapon fell. Tomel grabbed it. He stood tall for the first time in weeks. His chain still hung from his wrists. But now he held a weapon. He looked at the open hangar doors. Ashen Sky hovered outside. The voice came again, this time only to him. Captain, you are alive. Shall I continue? Tomel smiled. Yes, begin rescue. Inside Ashen Sky, hundreds of drones woke up. They moved from the ship's underbelly like shadows with engines. Small, round, fast, they flew toward Drexler 9, dodging fire, scanning damage, avoiding life signs. Their mission was clear: reach the captain. Karnix saw them on the screen. Shoot them down, his officers tried, but the turrets still didn't respond. The drones reached the hangar in less than 30 seconds. Tomel watched as the first one floated near him. It scanned his face. Then it opened with a soft click. Inside was a small device, a key. He grabbed it and unlocked the chain on his wrist. The other one followed. Now free, he stepped into the center of the hangar. The Jarans ran for cover. Tomel raised the stolen weapon. Ashen Sky's drones circled him, ready to protect. He pointed toward the exit. Let's go home. Tomel stood in the middle of the hangar with the stolen weapon in his hands. The chains that once held him now lay on the floor, round him. Ashen Sky's drones circled like silent guards. Their lights blinked softly, ready to defend Zarn. Guards had already run for cover. Some dropped their weapons and hid behind crates. Others tried to call for help, but their devices gave only static. Outside the ship, Ashen Sky hovered without sound. It didn't need noise to bring fear. Its dark shape cast a shadow over the hangar. The AI inside had one clear goal: protect the captain. Tomel looked at the nearest drone. Status. He said. The drone projected a small light screen. It showed a map of the prison ship. Red dots marked enemy locations. Green dots showed prisoner cells. One blinking dot marked Tomel. The drone spoke in a calm voice. You are here. Escape route is clear. Ashen Sky has disabled main defense systems. Tomel nodded. Good. Let's move. He stepped toward the exit, and the drones followed him like a silent wave. Two more came from behind and dropped gear in front of him. One was a light armor vest. The other was a small comm device. Tomel put on the vest and clipped the comm to his ear. Can you hear me? Sky the warship's voice replied at once, loud and clear. Captain, it felt strange to be called that. Again, it had been so long since someone said it, but it felt right. In the command room, Karnix was losing control. His crew shouted warnings. Systems were going dark. The ship tilted again. As another blast shook the hull. One officer cried out, a section of our engine deck is gone. No power to weapons. Drones are inside the ship. Another added, they're helping the human. He's heading toward the central hall. Karnix growled. Cut him off, now. The officers looked at each other, afraid to speak. He has the ship's AI with him, one said. It's controlling everything. We can't stop it. Karnix slammed his fist on the screen. I will not let one human destroy a Zarn war vessel. He turned to his guard. Send the elite squad. Block every hallway. I want that human alive. Tomel moved quickly through the halls. The drones led the way, turning corners and scanning for threats. He passed broken doors, blinking lights, and fallen guards. The air smelled like smoke and burning metal. His body ached, but his mind was sharp. Years of training took over. He reached the security door. A drone hovered close and sprayed a beam at the lock. It clicked open in seconds. Tomel stepped into a wide hallway. It was not empty. A full squad of Zarin soldiers stood waiting with rifles raised. Their armor was thick. Their faces were covered. They didn't speak. Tomel didn't stop. The drone voice said, "Danger level high. Suggest retreat." Tomel answered. "Denied." The Zarins opened fire. Blue bolts shot down the hall. Tomel rolled behind a support beam. Drones swarmed forward, creating a shield wall. They absorbed the blasts and returned fire. 2 Zarins fell. Then 3 more. Tomel leaned out and fired his weapon. His shot hit one soldier in the leg. Another drone flew up and released a short-range pulse. The rest of the Zarins dropped to the floor. Stunned. Silence returned. The drone said, "Hall is clear." Tomel stepped over the bodies. He didn't feel anger. He didn't feel pride. He just kept moving. In a lower part of the ship, Tomel passed a group of prison cells. Most were empty, but one held a young alien girl. She was small, with blue skin and wide silver eyes. She looked scared. She stood up when she saw Tomel. "Are you human?" she asked softly. Tomel paused. "Yes." The girl reached through the bars. "Take me with you, please." Tomel looked at the drone. "Can you unlock this cell?" Confirmed. The cell opened. The girl stepped out, holding nothing but a broken toy in her hand. "What's your name?" Tomel asked. "Mira." "You're coming with me, Mira. Stay close." She nodded quickly. Ashen Sky spoke again through the comm. "Captain, enemy forces gathered near exit bay. I suggest extraction now." Tomel replied, "Agreed." "Bring the shuttle." Ashen Sky responded, "Already done." Outside, a small human shuttle detached from the main warship. It flew fast, low, and quiet. It reached the outer hangar of Drexter 9 and landed inside with a soft thud. Drones surrounded it, clearing the path. Tomel and Mira reached the shuttle bay. As they entered, a blast hit the wall behind them. Karnix appeared with 2 of his guards. He aimed a weapon at Tomel. "Stop. You're not leaving." Tomel pulled Mira behind him. "You lost." Karnix hissed. "You tricked us. We thought you were weak." Tomel stepped forward. "That was your first mistake." Karnix fired. Tomel ducked. The shot hit the wall. One drone flew in front and launched a stun pulse. Karnix dropped his weapon and fell. Tomel grabbed Mira's hand and ran into the shuttle. The doors closed behind them. Inside the shuttle, Tomel sat down and strapped in. Mira sat beside him, still holding her toy. "You did good," Tomel said. Mira smiled for the first time. The shuttle lifted off. Outside the hangar, Ashen Sky opened a path. A force shield protected the shuttle as it flew back to the ship. Once docked, Tomel stepped onto Ashen Sky's floor. The lights glowed brighter. The air felt warm. The AI spoke. "Welcome home, Captain." Tomel took a deep breath. "I never thought I'd return." The ship replied, "Mission not complete. Enemy fleet is on the way." Tomel nodded. "Then let's finish this." The stars outside glowed cold and distant. Inside Ashen Sky, Tomel sat in the captain's chair. His hands rested lightly on the controls, but his eyes were sharp and alert. The ship hummed around him, alive and powerful. Every system was ready for battle. The AI spoke clearly. 17 Zarin warships detected, approaching in 7 minutes. Shield power at 85%. Weapon systems charging. Tomel nodded slowly. "Prepare for battle. But first, there's more work to do." Far below, inside the Drexter 9 prison ship, alarms screamed in every hallway. Red lights flashed, warning everyone to get to battle stations. The ship trembled as Ashen Sky's last strike had damaged engines and life support. The Zarin guards were in chaos. Some tried to repair broken systems. Others moved prisoners to new cells. But the ship's power was failing fast. In the corridors, Tomel moved like a shadow. With Mira close behind, he freed prisoners one by one. Many were aliens from different worlds. They had suffered long in these cages. "Now, hope returned. Follow me," Tomel said softly. "We are leaving." A tall alien with bright green eyes, called Bran, stepped out from the shadows. "I am a miner from Kelra. I've waited for a chance like this." Tomel smiled. "Then come with us, Bran." Together, They moved through broken doors and dark halls. Ashen Sky's drones followed, guarding them. The prisoners, once silent and scared, found courage. But not all guards were gone. In the central hall, Karnix gathered his elite squad. They wore heavy armor and carried powerful weapons. Karnix pointed his clawed finger toward the doors. We will stop them here. No prisoner escapes. No human returns. The soldiers nodded. They knew this. Battle was important, not just for the prisoners, but for the Zarn pride. Tomel and the group reached a large corridor filled with smoke and debris. The air was thick and hard to breathe. The sounds of fighting echoed from ahead. Suddenly, a group of Zarn soldiers blocked the path. Their eyes burned with anger. Stop, one shouted. No one passes. Tomel held up his hand. We do not want to fight you. Let us go. The soldier laughed. You are weak. You will fall. Mira stepped beside Tomel, holding his hand tight. I'm not afraid, she said. Tomel took a deep breath. Then prepare. The battle began. The drones flew in front, moving fast and protecting the prisoners. They shot beams of energy that stunned the soldiers. Tomel fired his weapon carefully, disabling but not killing. Bran used his strength to push aside debris and help the group move forward. Mira hid behind Tomel but watched with wide eyes. The Zarn soldiers fought hard. They were trained warriors. But the prisoners had something new: hope and the strength of Ashen Sky behind them. The corridor shook as blasts echoed. Sparks flew from broken walls. A Zarn soldier lunged at Tomel, but a drone intercepted and sent a pulse that knocked him out, step by step. The group moved forward. Meanwhile, in the control room of Drexter 9, Karnix watched the battle unfold. On the screens, Commander, the prisoners are escaping. One officer reported. We are losing control. Karnix growled. Send reinforcements, seal all exits, kill the human. He slammed his claw on the console. This is our honor. We will not fail. Back in the corridors, Tomel and his group reached the hangar bay where the transport shuttles waited. The group hurried inside, closing the doors behind them. Tomel took a moment to look around. Mira was tired but smiling. Bran was strong and steady. We made it, Tomel said. But Karnix will not stop, Mira warned. Tomel nodded. Then we must be ready. Outside, Ashen Sky rose from the dust like a great shadow. Its hull gleamed with energy, its weapons were glowing red. The Zarn fleet appeared near the horizon, moving fast and ready for battle. Ashen Sky's voice was calm but strong. Captain, enemy ships closing fast. Shall we engage? Tomel leaned forward in his chair. Yes, let them come. The warship's weapons charged fully. Shield walls formed around the ship like a glowing barrier. In the hangar, the shuttle lifted off and headed for Ashen Sky. Inside, Tomel and the prisoners prepared for the next fight. Mira held her broken toy tightly. Bran checked the small weapons handed out by the drones. Tomel looked at them both. We fight not just for ourselves, but for every prisoner still trapped. Mira nodded. I want to help. Bran smiled. We will fight together. The shuttle docked with Ashen Sky smoothly. Tomel led the prisoners into the ship's core. The AI greeted them. Welcome aboard. Systems fully operational. Ready for command. Tomel turned to Mira and Bran. This is our home now. Mira looked amazed. This ship is alive. Tomel smiled. She is more than a ship. She is a warrior. Outside, the battle began. Zarn ships fired beams and missiles. Ashen Sky moved like a ghost. It dodged attacks easily and fired back with deadly accuracy. One by one, enemy ships exploded in bright flashes. The fleet tried to surround Ashen Sky, but the warship was faster and smarter. The AI guided Tomel's every move. Enemy weak point detected. Suggest direct strike. Tomel nodded and gave the order. A massive beam shot from Ashen Sky's core. It hit the enemy flagship. The ship shuddered and broke apart. The Zarn fleet hesitated. Ashen Sky's voice echoed through space. Captain, victory is near. Inside Ashen Sky, Tomel felt hope rise. He had not only escaped but was now fighting back. The Zarns had underestimated humans. They had thought he was weak. They were wrong. The human warship was awake. and it was ready, ashen. Sky glided through the cold darkness of space like a silent shadow. The stars around it blinked quietly, but inside the warship, everything was alive. Lights flickered on the control panels, engines hummed with steady power, and the AI's calm voice filled the halls. Tomel stood on the command bridge. His eyes scanned the large screen showing the distant stars and the scattered remains of the Zarn fleet. The enemy ships had been pushed back, but the fight was far from over. Behind him, Mira and Bran watched quietly. Mira's silver eyes reflected the light of the screens. Bran's strong hands rested calmly at his sides. Both had grown stronger since their escape from the prison ship. Tomel turned to them. "We are safe for now," he said, "but the Zarns will not stop. They will come back with more ships." Mira nodded. "What do we do?" Tomel smiled faintly. "We prepare." Suddenly, an alarm beeped softly. A new message appeared on the screen. "It's from the Galactic Union," Ashen Sky's AI said. Tomel stepped forward and opened the message. The Galactic Union was the great council that kept peace in the galaxy. Their ships had watched the fight but had not joined. Now, they sent a message for Tomel. It said, "Captain Tomel, we recognize your ship and your actions. We request a meeting to discuss peace and your future." Tomel looked at Mira and Bran. "What should I say?" Bran spoke first. "You should tell them the truth." Mira nodded. "Tell them who you really are." Tomel took a deep breath. "Very well," he replied through the ship's communication system. "I accept your request. But first, I have something to show you." Tomel walked to a quiet room deep inside Ashen Sky. It was a small chamber with old photographs, maps, and star charts. He touched the images gently. "This ship was lost years ago," he said softly. "Many thought I was dead, but I survived. I hid. I waited." Mira stepped closer. "Why didn't you tell anyone?" Tomel looked at her. "Because they underestimated humans. They thought we were weak. I wanted them to be wrong." Bran asked, "What happened to the war?" Tomel's face grew serious. "The war was long and hard. We lost many ships. Ashen Sky was badly damaged in the last battle. We made an emergency jump to escape. But the jump sent us far from help." Mira gasped. "You were alone all this time?" Tomel nodded. "Not alone. Ashen Sky kept me alive. The ship waited for me. I waited for the right moment. Meanwhile, the Zarn Empire was in chaos. Commander Karnak sat in his war room, furious. His screen showed the damaged fleet and missing prisoners. How could one human and a broken ship cause this much trouble? He growled. His advisors tried to calm him. They were clever. The human used the AI to control the prison ship. Karnak slammed his fist. "Find them. Bring them back, alive or dead." His voice echoed in the empty room. Back on Ashen Sky, Tomel prepared to speak with the Galactic Union. He opened a channel. The leaders appeared on the screen. There were many shapes and colors, each from different species. Some looked curious, others were wary. Tomel stood tall. "I'm Captain Tomel of Ashen Sky. I survived the last great battle and returned to save those left behind." A tall blue alien spoke first. "Captain, your return surprises us. Your ship was thought lost." Tomel nodded. "It was a secret. I used the time to plan. The Zarn Empire betrayed the peace. They captured prisoners, including me, to weaken the galaxy." Another leader said, "Your actions saved many lives. But war is not the answer." Tomel replied, "War may come, but peace requires strength. I am here to protect those who cannot protect themselves." After the meeting, Tomel stood quietly on the bridge. Mira came to his side. "Do you think they will accept you?" she asked. Tomel looked at the stars. "They will learn. Humans are not weak. They survive. They fight, and when needed, they lead." Bran joined them. "What about the prisoners?" Tomel smiled. "They will be safe now. Ashen Sky will guard them." Mira smiled. "I want to help. Teach me." Tomel placed a hand on her shoulder. "You already are helping." Ashen Sky prepared to leave the area. The warship's hull glowed softly. Its weapons were ready. The AI spoke. "Captain, new enemies may come. Your orders?" Tomel's eyes burned with purpose. "Keep searching. Protect the weak. Show the galaxy what humans can do." The warship's engines roared to life. It moved forward into the endless dark. The story of the human captain and his warship was only beginning. Ashen sky moved through deep space like a ghost. Its dark hull swallowed light and stars. Inside, the ship's engines hummed softly. Tommel stood on the bridge, watching. Distant stars blinked past the windows. The AI was quiet for a moment, then spoke. Captain. New signals detected. Unknown ships approaching at high speed. Tommel turned. Show me. The main screen lit up with images of sleek ships, unlike any he had seen before. Their design was strange, with sharp angles and glowing lines. The ships moved fast, closing. In an ashen sky. Are they Zarn? No. Captain. Unknown origin. No data in database. Tommel frowned. Prepare for defense. Alert all systems. Back on the prison ship Drexler 9. Silence filled the empty halls. The damaged vessel drifted slowly through space. Many prisoners had been freed by Tommel and Ashen Sky, but some still remained locked in cells. Waiting. One cell held a small alien boy named Raoul. His bright orange eyes stared at the dark ceiling. He was too young to fight, but old enough to understand fear. Raoul heard footsteps. The door opened. A Zarn guard appeared. Come with me, the guard said roughly. Raoul followed silently. The guard led him to a hidden room. Inside waited a strange device glowing with blue light. This is a communication beacon, the guard said. We will send a message to our allies. Raoul's eyes widened. To who? The guard smiled cruelly. To the new enemy ships. We want help. On Ashen Sky, Tommel and his crew prepared for battle. Mira stood beside him on the bridge. Who are they? Tommel shook his head. I don't know, but they are coming to fight. Brand checked the weapon systems. We need to be ready. Ashen Sky powered up its shields and weapons. The AI spread drones outside the ship, scanning and defending. The unknown ships closed in fast. Soon, they appeared on the radar like a dark storm. Suddenly, the new ship stopped. A message came through the communication system. The voice was cold and mechanical. This is Commander Vrax of the Nihon Fleet. We have detected your presence. Identify yourself. Tommel answered clearly. I am Captain Tommel of Ashen Sky. We mean no harm unless attacked. Vrax laughed coldly. Humans are known for war. You should surrender. Tommel smiled. We do not surrender. The ships moved in formation. Vrax's fleet attacked first. Bright beams of energy shot toward Ashen Sky. The warship's shields flared as they absorbed the impact. The battle began. Tommel gave orders quickly. Fire at will. Target their engines. Ashen Sky's weapons blazed. Shots hit the enemy ships, causing explosions and damage. The drones flew like arrows, dodging attacks and striking back. The fight was fierce, but Ashen Sky was strong. During the battle, the AI sent a warning. Captain, the Zarn prison ship is sending a signal. It may be a trap. Tommel frowned. Can we stop it? Negative. The beacon is protected. We must destroy it. Tommel ordered drones to move toward Drexler 9. They flew quickly, avoiding enemy fire. Inside the prison ship, Raoul watched as drones burst into the room. They destroyed the beacon with a bright flash. The guard tried to stop them, but was knocked down by a pulse. Raoul ran from the room, free at last. Back on Ashen Sky, the battle ended with Vrax's fleet retreating. Many enemy ships were damaged or destroyed. Tommel breathed heavily. We won this fight, but more will come. Mira looked at him. What now? Tommel smiled. We warn the galaxy. We protect the weak. We fight for peace. The AI spoke softly. Captain, a message is incoming from the Galactic Union. They have seen the battle. Tommel nodded. Open the channel. The leaders of the Galactic Union appeared on the screen again. You have done well, Captain Tommel, one said. Your strength has changed the balance. But be careful. The galaxy watches. Tommel bowed his head slightly. I understand. I will protect my people. As Ashen Sky moved away from the battlefield, Tommel looked out at the stars. He thought about the journey, the battles, the friends he had made. He knew this was only the beginning, for the galaxy was large, and many dangers waited in the dark. But Tommel was ready. He was a human. He was a captain, and his warship would fight for all who needed help. The stars shone, cold and distant as ashen sky cut through space. Tomal stood at the command bridge, his eyes steady on the vast darkness ahead. The battles had been many, the enemies strong, but the warship was alive, and so was its captain. The AI spoke softly. "Captain, sensors detect new activity near the edge of this system. Unidentified ships approaching." Tomal nodded. "Prepare defenses. Keep shields strong. Far away." The Zarin Empire was quiet but uneasy. "Commander." Karnax had not given up. His pride was wounded, and his anger burned deep. His officers reported news of the lost prisoners. In the powerful human warship, Karnax's claws clenched. "We will find them. We will show the galaxy the power of Zarin." Back on Ashen Sky, Tomal gathered his small crew. Mira and Bran stood beside him. "We cannot fight alone," Tomal said. "The galaxy is too large, too dangerous." Mira looked hopeful. "Then what do we do?" Tomal smiled. "We build alliances. We reach out. We bring hope." Suddenly, the ship's communications beeped. A new message arrived. It was from the Galactic Union. "Captain Tomal, your bravery has inspired many. We offer support, ships, resources. Together, we can protect the galaxy." Tomal's heart lifted. He answered, "Thank you. Together, we are stronger." The warship moved toward the nearest star system. Ashen Sky's sensors found many ships waiting. Some were friends, others were unknown. Tomal stepped forward. "We will show the galaxy the true strength of humanity." The new allies greeted Ashen Sky warmly. Their ships joined the human warship in a shining fleet. The Galactic Union held a meeting. Leaders from many worlds gathered to plan. Tomal spoke clearly. "The Zarin Empire will not stop. They seek control, through fear and war. But we will stand together. We will protect freedom." The leaders agreed. Plans were made to defend weak worlds and stop the Zarin advance. Days passed. Ashen Sky and his new fleet traveled the stars. Tomal trained new crews. Mira learned quickly. Bran taught others how to be strong and brave. The human warship became a symbol of hope and strength. Stories spread across the galaxy. One day, the sensors detected a large Zarin fleet moving fast. Karnax had gathered his forces for a final attack. Tomal stood tall. "This is our chance. We fight for peace, for freedom, for all." The battle began. Blasts of energy filled space. Ships danced between stars. Ashen Sky led the charge. The fight was long and hard, but the new fleet worked as one. They protected each other and fought with courage. Karnax's fleet was pushed back. His ships fell one by one. At the end of the battle, Karnax faced Tomal. Their ships hovered close, weapons ready. Karnax sneered. "You may have won this time, human, but the Zarin Empire will rise." Again, Tomal replied calmly, "We will be ready, and we will never stop fighting for peace." The Zarin fleet retreated. The galaxy was safe for now. Tomal looked at his crew. Mira smiled. Bran stood proud. The human warship had changed everything. It was more than a machine. It was a protector. As Ashen Sky moved through the stars, Tomal spoke softly. "This is only the beginning. The galaxy will remember this day, the day humans stood tall, the day hope was reborn." The AI answered, "Captain, the future is bright." Tomal smiled. "Let's keep it that way." End of the story.